Hello. Hey, everybody. I'm Joanne Hoy, the Wholesome WordZ creative and founder, and we're back again another month. Can you believe it? Every third Friday. And as you can see, we have our amazing DJ, Mr. C, aka Raising Men podcast and radio show host, along with the framework. And if you're not on the framework, you should be. And then coming back to us is Miss Tamara Johnson, A Minute with Mom. And so we're excited to be back. This year has been really kind of different. And so I'm just kind of going with the flow. January was filled with, oh my gosh, look what happened at Christmas time. And Christmas time started with the cricket, huh, Craig?
Yes, ma'am. It did.
Started with cricketizing, and I baptized him in the name of the cricketizer. And then that just took off to a whole nother thing. I know another cricketizer that was Tiffany. I don't know if Tiffany is on.
Shout out.
She was cricketized, and she started making cards to the point where people were saying, "You made this?" They were very impressed, and so she was just on it. And so that was January and February, and then March, things started to change. March is usually the month where we have Resurrection Sunday, usually March or April, and there's this annual event that I think I tell everybody about. If I don't tell you about, I need to tell you about it. But it's called the Pageant of Our Lord, and it's in Rolling Hills. And if you've never been, next year you can go with me because I'm an annual person. And it is something that it's hard to describe, but they tell the story of the birth of Christ all the way to Resurrection Sunday, and they do it in excellence. I mean, it's like, get your tickets early. You want to sit close because you cannot believe your eyes. My favorite one, and it's a spoiler, but they have like this 50-foot Bible that they bring onto the stage, and your mouth is already like, oh, this is really kind of a cute painting, until they open the puppy. They open the puppy and they turn the page more than once. I mean, and you see the bending like it was like if it was a book, and then you have to watch it because it's just you just gotta go. So if you're interested, next year they usually start selling tickets around November-ish. So I know I'll be doing something because that's how God rolls. But I think Andy's been. I don't know, Andy, where are you? You need to check your emails. But yeah, and unreal. And then somewhere in there, I remember Craig and I were driving up, and we had made our own Pageant of Our Lord t-shirts. So we were sporting the t-shirts that Craig had made, getting contacts and meeting people. And then we had this crazy conversation. For those of you who don't know, the conversation went something like this. Craig was like saying, you know what, all this stuff that you do, I don't know if people really understand that, you've gone to a seminary, you're a seminarian, you're a theologian. And I'm like, yeah, they just don't know. I was like, well, you know what? I was considering getting my doctorate. And Craig said, so why aren't you? And I'm like,
not my fault.
I'm like, Craig, but what would I get it in? And he looked at me with a long pause, and he said, teach, Joanne? And I couldn't shake it off. So this is true story. Very next day, I had applied for a graduate doctorate program back, I say many rains ago. And so next day, I'm like, okay, God, if this is you, then I'll be able to talk to my professor. So I found him online. I sent him an email, and I am not joking. Less than 5 minutes later, everybody, yes, he did. He responded and said, call me. And so, I was sitting there going, oh my gosh, what's happening? And the next thing I know, we talk. I apply. I'm accepted, and the class is a summer intensive. That means that, like, for a whole week, you meet with your group and do different things, do presentations like that. Right. And I got accepted so I started in the beginning of April. Before the end of April, I was accepted. Yep. And in class. Yep. And like, Terry, no, I don't know nothing. I don't remember how to study. I don't remember how to read. I remember nothing. So I go through all the stuff. I create, they ask for this presentation. I got to be artsy fartsy because that's all I know. And
real artsy, real fartsy.
Yeah. And so that was June. And I was just, kind of like going through the motion, praying that God would regenerate those brain cells that I just knew were dead and dried out and had no moisture in it at all. So I could think again, because you can't see it, but behind me I have this lavish bookcase of amazing books that I read many rains ago. Note the word many rains. And so here I am. Class went fairly well. Most people were amazed at more of the artsy stuff than what the presentation was. They just wanted to see what I did with this particular woman's. It was Mariah Stewart. And if you don't know who she is, she was one of those people back in the 1800s that felt a calling to preach, and she was doing stuff and telling people they were wrong. She was an amazing woman. So I did something different, artsy, and they were more interested about the artsy stuff than actually hearing about the woman. So turned in my paper, and I don't know what grade I'm getting, but hey, I'm enrolled to the next fall semester. On Tuesday or Wednesday, I went to orientation. I think that's what I did. I went to orientation. That was interesting. That was really interesting. So that's where I am. That's what I'm doing.
How long was the program for?
17,000 yards.
Probably so for me. It's about a 3-year. They say it's a 3-year program.
Oh, wow. 3 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's kind of cool so far because if all the classes are for the DMIN program, it's like a week of intensive. And so you meet just one time throughout the whole week, every day. And then you have the rest of the semester to do whatever you need to do for your presentations or papers or things like that. So the next class is called the third. I'll have to think about it, but it's about personal investing and the third economy. That's what it's called. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna learn, but I've been doing some reading. I can read again. So yeah. So that's what I've been doing. Craig, what you been up to? Hey, Miss Cece, how are you? Oh my gosh. You have a see? You too. I got yeah, that's what I invested with Craig. We split a maker, and I haven't unboxed my joy yet. Yeah.
You haven't unboxed it yet? It's still sitting in the box? You have your joy in a box. Really?
Joy in a box.
That'll preach in itself. You have your joy in a box.
Yep. So, yep. You need to check your email. That's all I keep on trying to tell you, girl. Try one of your email accounts. You got like 40 of them.
Shout out.
Oh, good. I'm sitting here. You're making labels, really? What labels are you making, girl? We might need to get you on. You're making some labels. All right. Yeah. I tried to tell Craig about the joy, but he kind of turned his nose up at it.
Well, I don't know. It was a little undersized for the needs.
That's the
Except
smaller,
for
that's the
Jay,
compact one, right?
the joy is about,
Yeah.
but it
But
makes
for
great
what?
banners. I mean, so if
Mhm.
you're looking for banners and little neat projects like you saw today with that lady's t-shirt wrapping, Craig,
Mhm. Mhm.
the joy. And plus the joy does the foil. I think that's what you need. You need to get something with
Yeah, I
foil.
need that. I
Yeah.
need that.
Yeah.
I need that in my life.
I know. So Craig, could you share what you've been up to? Because I know last month we talked a little bit. We
Yeah,
got
I'm
caught
actually,
up.
and I
But
apologize because I'm looking down, so I'm pulling up some more pictures and I'm transferring as we speak. Because some of them didn't come over like they were supposed to, and they were being a little ornery, so a little frustrated. But since the last time we spoke, we were actually able to. Labels are for the craft room, storage drawers, and
she got her
carts.
own dadgummit craft room. All right,
Uh,
girl, go on, Miss Cece. Craft room. And do you have a craft room?
I do have a craft room, but
Say
but we but
what?
we actually call it our print shop now, and so I don't have. Do I have a picture? That was one of the things I was trying to pull pictures up of. So bear with me one second, Lord, help me make sure this stuff comes across properly, because sometimes this particular application, StreamYard, doesn't like all the formatices that comes across it. So we have to make sure we do them the way that it likes. So in fact, it doesn't like my room photo right now. But yeah, it's a 20 by 40 foot craft space, shop space right now. And inside of the space, those who like the Cricut, there is the Cricut Maker. Now it has its own complete workstation in the workshop. So in the workshop, we have.
Give them, and I talk about all the stuff on the screen, Craig.
Okay, got it. So what you'll have, if you see the cursor moving around, you have, this is the Cricut Maker 3, and on it right now with some napkins that I'm actually working on for a client. Was blessed to be able to shout out to Drea and her family for allowing me to work on and delivering some napkins for her aunt's 65th and 65th birthday party. And so off of the Cricut, we're working on right now some embossing and or doing some high temperature vinyl, which didn't necessarily go well. So we're going to try to change the vinyl material and actually print on the napkins using the Cricut and the heat press. So that's what we're working on now. And I just got another box of napkins that were delivered today to be able to continue that project. This is, those who don't not aware with the Cricut, you'll need can use a board or a continuous feed roll of material. And this is actually silver high temperature vinyl laying on this board, and it actually will feed itself through the Cricut as the Cricut's blade actually cuts the parts, the letters, the shapes out into individual parts. And then the young lady was talking about weeding. Yeah, we use this backlight, and this is a top light. I'm kind of a little ridiculous. I actually want to see the top of it and the bottom, depending on the thickness of the material. For me, I weed faster if I can see through it as well as on top to see the finer parts of being able to separate the lettering. So thank you, Joanne, for that backlight. It's almost like an iPad, but it's actually just a backlit piece of light here, and I think it's awesome. And I have a very inexpensive top lighting for the cheap things. And this little dealie in the corner here, it's actually when you're weeding and you get in those tight spaces and you wind up with little pieces of stickum still stuck on the end of your weeding tool.
Is that the little black ball in the corner?
Yep, this little black ball in the corner, and this is my weeding tool, my dental instrument. I actually stick it in there and actually able to grab off those, those little small pieces of stickum, and it stays in there as trash. So you don't have to keep picking it off with your hands and getting it stuck on your hands, and then it gets stuck on the material again, and it can be a problem because if you don't get all those extra pieces and unwanted pieces off of your backing, it actually can transfer to the shirt. So I've done that before for a client, and it's not good when you get to the end and when you're doing 4 and 5 layers sometimes and you get one piece out of shape, it kind of sucks. And also in this particular Cricut Maker, you have a drawer here so you can keep your extra tools, some extra tools on the side here for me. You've actually got an impression cutting backer here on the side. And I just wanted to have this space in my shop or garage, 2-car garage space to be able to do this and always have it at the ready, so I didn't have to pull it up off a shelf and wonder, okay, where are my parts and where's everything. So that's what that looks like. So we talked about napkins. This is what the client sent me over for the birthday party. So these are 4x4 cocktail napkins done in full color. So these will be delivered in the next probably 4 to 5 days. The party's on the 26th, I believe. So this is a little preview. So shout out to the customer. The customer provided the graphics, and we were able to actually source their printout onto cocktail napkins. We were also blessed to be able to do some labels, continuous roll labels of the same type of logo. They're going to apply these onto some water bottles that the customer is supplying themselves. But this is what they wanted. Again, we were blessed to be able to find a label making company that did them exactly to scale, just like we wanted them. These were not bad. These, I think these were about 50 or 70 bucks a roll, I believe, for 100, I believe. I think it was. I don't remember the exact count. I think it was like for 75 for sure, but we had to go over because that's the way the counts work. What else we've got, Joe? We've been doing, I don't think I have the picture, but we have a picture of Caden here. We'd had a press before. It was a Brother GT381, but that died I think it died in February or March after our first job, but we were blessed to be able to pick up a GTX Pro, and so now we are doing pro work with the brand new freestanding press as well as a new pre-treater.
We will only clear out the floor, Craig. You say you're not in disaster. Wait, what's going on with the floor? That ain't no garage floor.
Yeah, this is actually a residential garage floor. We actually had the floor done in epoxy with a cream color. Whoever lived here before, the floor was not a traditional concrete floor. Well, it was traditional concrete floor, but they put on some vinyl and some linoleum and some other junk on it and left all the sticky glue behind, and had really, really ugly gold colored dried up glue that was left behind. And so I wanted to make this garage, though it's a garage, it's a traditional, 20 by 40 foot 2-car garage. I wanted it to still feel like a shop, that when the boys and I came out to press and to print, and when we're blessed to have customers come through to pick up or do things like that in person, that they really think that they've gone from residential into an actual shop. So it just really felt it was really, 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 really ultra important that we have a place that looked and felt like a working space versus a garage that looked funny. So we were blessed to be able to use some vendors that we got as a referral from Tamara. Shout out to Tamara. Shout out to Raul and his team. They actually came through, and we were able to get them to come through.
I need to get that number. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I got you, girl. I got you.
All right.
Yeah, and it's just a traditional garage floor. These are the actual roll-up doors that are right behind where the press was sitting at that moment. And it's, again, even if we go back to the cricket picture, this is still the same garage floor, same garage door.
I was looking at it. I was like, going in, and he comes on some garage.
Yeah, but when you're walking into, and we actually have paneling in the picture, like the paneling let me take this down. So the paneling that's behind me, we put that on the same wall behind me. So the printer is actually literally right over, well, technically the heat press. Sorry, the heat press and the pre-treater is directly right behind me.
The shop is behind the brick wall. Is that what you're saying?
Right behind the paneling brick wall. It's not really it's faux brick, not real brick. It's faux.
It don't matter if it's faux.
Thank you, girl. Talk to him.
On the brother.
Like I said, it's behind the brick wall.
Precisely.
Yeah. But it's a blessing to have it that close, and I don't have to at the moment go and incur rental for a space and do things like that, and we're able to put together graphics like this right off of our press, right in the house.
Okay, so you created that one, Craig?
No, actually, we didn't create it. We're in the process of doing now. Since the machine just came online Monday about noon, we were live.
Wait, you talking about like 4 days ago?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah. And this is the wall. This is literally
so
right.
4 days ago, you made that there, and you just got it the other day?
Yes, ma'am. So this is right on a working stream. And we were actually blessed to be able to have done everything right now, and we haven't made any rags. And so the rags, the technician calls, artwork that we messed up on a shirt that you can't do anything with or shouldn't do anything with. We were blessed right now with the training that we already had from the cricket time, making shirts for those who supported our KESM efforts, to what we were doing on the 381s. Shout out to Audrette Kennan and her staff over at Sharp for allowing us to do the hospital shirts. And then, because we hadn't released who we had done that job for until now, we were actually do that first shirt job for Sharp Hospital. And then now we have, just doing our own print ups now for some of our own designs, which we're running under 828 imprints for our own authentic wear. These were just graphics we want to do for just to show capability. So the stuff we did for Kesem would be stuff we would push under 828 printing or imprints. And then as we're getting ready to release and fully come up to speed with just printing for people who want things like yourself or Tamara or Dread and you name it, on and on and on, as the word Lord sends people, they're allowing us to put that under the printing name, which is Carlisle Family Prints. So we in Carlisle Family Prints is actually up, but we're still working on the site, so it's not ready to be released, but it is up. If somebody goes out there, Carlisle Family Prints, it is a working domain. But we're probably 30 days early from actually having all of our marketing stuff ready, but we're ready for it open for business. So there's this print here. On the front of it, we have the
Who is that?
logo. That's Jackson. Believe it or not, this young man is 14 years old, just turned 14 in June, and he is
I
6'2".
Wait till I get to the house. We are
I
having.
cannot.
Yeah.
I cannot.
Yeah, he's 6'2" at 14. He does have a 40, I think he's got a 42-inch vertical, and he's probably about a quarter inch away or more technique.
That's not mine. That's somebody else's child. That's not mine.
That's what I'm saying, Joanne, because I remember this cute little kid with a mohawk and glasses. This gentleman in the screen, I don't know this person.
No, same
Who that
kid,
is?
same dude.
Wow.
And if you look behind him in the blurriness, this is that same wall where we're behind, and that and everything.
On
This
the
is
floor and
on the
stuff
floor.
like that.
Yeah, this is the shop set up the way it's set right now, and he and Caden are one of my biggest designer customers. They're always asking for stuff. They're asking, yeah, can you make this? Can you make that? My friends want this. My friends want that. And so my goal is in this community where we're at in here, is if we can get the kids involved in wanting material, wanting stuff, we can go. It'll grow organically just around the neighborhood. So we're getting ready to have the truck wrapped, the Suburban, and so it'll look like a big rolling billboard or parked billboard. So there's those type of graphics here, and we did this. We printed this for the again. This graphic was sent to us by I'm a Weapon Ministry. Shout out to Dr. Warrinder Williams. This is her ministry out of Atlanta, Georgia. And so we'll be supporting that ministry's efforts, being able to get these out to the ministry team, those who support the ministry, those who want to watch and support and buy. These are all done on 100% cotton tees or cotton blends. We did this one to support the framework. We showed this before when it was coming off the 381, kind of a sad, kind of a faded graphic. But now that we have the pre-treater, now that we have championship gear, production gear, commercial gear, we can compete at the high level. This is what some of the merch that we would have to support the framework. And again, these were all done within the last day and a half. The shirt I'm wearing is
like Tuesday, Wednesday this week.
Yeah, in fact, this was actually printed on Monday. This one, I think I printed it on Tuesday. I know I printed this one for sure on Tuesday. I printed the front end of this one last night. Tamara, we're going to roll into some of yours here in a second that I just did last night as well. And we're going to, do some combined, talking about what we're doing, same.
Wait, all of this came from a Cricut.
The launching pad was from the Cricut, and then the graphics themselves, since we're printing, we call it direct to garment, meaning it's just a big printer. And so you're just, if I have Tamara's drawing, this is a design that Tamara did, and this is actually coming right out of the printer. And so we printed Tamara's design for a minute with mom, which is here there on the bottom, right onto a shirt. So we pre-treated it, set it up where we had to we sprayed on it, of course, but we sprayed on some salt-based solution first, pressed it, cured it into the fabric, and then that allows us to be able to print on any color pretty much in the rainbow that's available. Preferably the more cotton in it, the better, because it allows the ink to stay resonant and absorbed into the fabric. So Tamara's Canva design exported out
Okay,
of
so let's
Canva.
explain Canva.
Okay, you guys
Who
are
wanna
much better at
explain?
Canva than I. So one of you all
Yeah,
take the
let me
Canva
see if
part.
I can bring Canva up for those people that are like, what are the heck they're talking about? I've been
It's
a
a whole
Canva
nother-
person and have like Canvatized Craig because he kind of like, had his nose all to him, like, Canva, what the heck is that, right? And so Canva is this amazing website that
It's designed by a mother too. So that's a shout out to the moms. She designed that for mothers as an answer to Adobe because she was mad because Adobe costs so much. She went out and got money, and that's how Canva got its jump. I'm sorry, I didn't
yeah,
jump in.
so I love that mom. She's my friend. Let me see if I can share. I've joined the mom a long time ago, like over 7+ years ago, and maybe even longer. Let's see if I can share. Here we go, Canva. There we go. Okay, so this is the sheet of Canva, and as you can see, there's all kinds of different things you can do if you want to make a logo or banner. And
we don't see it yet.
Are you saying you don't see it yet, Craig?
No, we just
What
see
do
you and
okay.
me and Tamara. Oh, there it is. Bam, bam.
Okay, so like I was saying, you can see that. Let me get back over. See, because it's hard to see here. You can see that you can make a logo or a flyer or a banner, resume maker. There's all these different things that you can make. If it's a presentation or a video, I mean, you do have to spend some time with it and play with it. But I created a team, and so Craig and I think Tiffany's on it. Tiffany was kind of iffy too, but now
she's a pro now.
Yeah, you can't tell her nothing. She's
Mm.
learned how to take Canva, and much like Tamara, she can tell you too, where Tiffany now takes her designs and she makes some cards or t-shirts or whatever. So I've been with Canva for whatever. There is a free Canva, but I can't live like that.
Me either. I pay my little $12.99 because
It's worth
I
it.
need more designs. I mean, you get a lot with the free version, but
Right.
making the investment, it opens up your whole creativity to a whole nother level.
So the opening that I have, the countdown, that was made in Canva. All my little countdowns and things like that, I just go to Canva, pick out what I want, find different things like, if it's a 5-minute or a 10-minute, and I figure out the background, and I have a funky good time. But that's what Canva's about. Yeah. Canva.
Well, since we're in Canva, let's transition to some of the stuff that Tamara's made in Canva as well, because she's got some stuff that are a minute with mom and some onesies. So Tamara, if I put up a couple of these, would you speak to a couple of the designs? You want to start with onesies or some more of the shirt stuff?
Whatever you like.
Whatever you like. Guys. So everybody, okay, go ahead.
Okay, so this is one of my favorites. This is for any infant child, and I just was messing around with it. And a lot of times these creations come to me in the middle of the night during my insomnia episodes, because I don't know why I can't sleep at night, but I can't. So if
you're on God's office hours, that's what it's called.
Thank you. See, now that makes sense. So I'm like, if I'm
called God's office hours.
So yeah, I love that. I love that. So I started making these little designs only because somebody else in the room had suggested and kind of put that worm in my ear of,
Who was that? Who would dare do
you
that?
should probably try to make some of these t-shirt designs on onesies because you have a baby, and yeah, why aren't you doing that? And I was like, that's an interesting point. And then I was like, okay, but God, what do I put on what am I going to say on a baby's onesie? Like, what messaging can I put on there? Like, it's great to be cute and everything, but I feel like, where is the market for clothing for children that speaks to their identity?
Ooh, that's good.
Like who they were created to be in Christ. Ain't nobody doing that I know of. Yeah. And so I was like, well, if I'm going to put a label on a child, I need them to know who they are.
Yeah.
I need my daughter to know who she is. I need her to know that she is 100% prayed for, designed by God, and loved. And so if I want that for my child, I can't be the only mom who wants that for their child. It's kind of akin to what's in a name. What you name your child, you don't just name your child anything. Of course, celebrities will do that, and that's great and fine for them. But I truly believe it does start in the name. So very much like how a name is important, what you put on your child is also important. And the messaging on those shirts needs to be something that it's not just cute, but it speaks to who they truly are, their true nature. And so there we have it. A Minute with Mom baby apparel.
That is so cool.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah. So I did one, and then I couldn't stop. I was like, oh my gosh, I need to make more of these. And so now I do it in my downtime. I do it in the middle of the night when the house is quiet and I can't sleep, and I'm talking to God and I'm saying, okay, well, Lord, let's make some t-shirt designs. What do you got? And that's literally how they come to me. I might get a phrase or something, and then I just take it and run with it. And it's really
during office hours.
During office hours. Now this little guy right here. So the last time I was on, I had mentioned that, I don't know if I had mentioned that, but we had a son and had a miscarriage. And so I never got to hold my little boy. So I'm always like thinking of him, needing to connect to him in certain ways. And I saw this graphic of this little boy, and I was like, that is Nathaniel. He kind of looks like my husband. And I'm just imagining that if Nathaniel was here, this is kind of what he would look like. And I was like, oh, you have to be on a t-shirt. You have to go on.
Well, you just found the image of that little boy, just like that.
Just like that. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's my son. And it was really fun creating him. And it's even more fun seeing him on an actual t-shirt and not just, on my little Canva screen, but to see it on a t-shirt and how it translates is just a blessing. And I cannot wait to start rolling these out. Like, yes.
So, I mean, are you going to, since that's your new little boy, are you going to start putting his name there?
I actually was thinking about.
I don't know, memorialize him. I
could do that, but I was thinking about writing a storybook about Nathaniel. Like Nathaniel is going to go on little adventures and things like that. Like, just
amazing.
Yeah. Amazing. I didn't tell you that, Craig.
No, because what's funny too is that these shirts also just came off the press last night. So these are actually printed, ready to go, available shirts.
Okay, so Craig, walk me through this. So the amazing artist who doesn't think she was an artist found out she was an artist on Canva. Okay, just wanted to put, those mysterious.
I like how you say that. I like, I would take that. I'm an artist.
So she played around on this app that we just shared called Canva. And then she sent the picture after she was finished to you.
Yes.
Okay, so was this PNG, JPEG? So walk me through that. Or because she put you on her team. Did you make
that too? That part too. Yes, that part.
Oh, so
Mhm.
you on a couple teams, Craig? Is that it?
Yeah, I'm a couple of different squads, you know what I'm saying? I'm see like primetime Deion Sanders, he played baseball and football, and Bo Jackson played baseball and football. I'm trying to play on a lot of team, little squads and synergize and
Can't with you.
work together with folk,
Just
so
collaborate.
collabs. You know what I'm
Collab.
saying?
It's with the collab. You got to say it right. The collab.
That's it. I get some collabs, you know what I'm saying? So that's where we are, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm trying to there's some other pictures that just don't want to download properly because
I
it's
know. Where are my little girls? Where's my boy mama shirt? Because
what
I don't just have stuff for the babies. I got stuff for the mamas and the daddies too.
I have
So mommy
this
and
one.
daddy have to be cute too. Now this one is after my Noel. This is my 20-month-old. And I saw her little graphic and I was like, that is Noel. And so I actually made her first. And I was like, oh, her brother needs to be on a shirt too. So then she came first, and then I
Do
made.
you have a picture with both of them on there having a good time?
I should put a picture of both of them on there. Yes, and I would probably give him angel wings, because here's the other side of that too. When you are a lost mom, you're always looking for ways to remember your baby, because the harsh reality of miscarriage is, especially when you're the only one that got to experience the pregnancy, you're the only one that felt the kicks, you're the only one that knew this little person was there. And so now, how do you make this life that was a life a part of the rest of everybody? So it's not just this phantom baby
Right.
that was out there that nobody ever got to see. So lost moms and dads are always looking for ways to connect with that child that they have lost. They're looking for little mementos, little things that will remind them and bring their heart joy, just to make them feel like they were with their child. Because in my case, I didn't get to hold Nathaniel. And so with a stillborn, you get to hold your baby. I would have gone that route, but I couldn't for health reasons. And so I had to take a different route that did not allow me to kiss him goodbye and have those last moments with him. So I am always looking for something tangible that can keep me connected to his memory, because it's important for me that he's not forgotten, because he had a soul, he had a body, and he had a purpose, and his purpose was very short, and he fulfilled that purpose, but mommy still misses her son.
Yep.
And so sometimes mommy might want to wear a t-shirt with Nathaniel on it.
Okay, now I'm gonna go somewhere just because I'm in this school. So, and I often try to connect the creator, the creation, and the artist.
Mm-hmm.
And so, shy of you telling me art therapy, it is the arts that is healing
the broken
your
heart. Yes.
lost mommy and daddy moment.
Mm-hmm.
It is the thought of using Canva to, just because you didn't even know you were an artist, but you just got on Canva, and during God's office hours, all of a sudden things came to you, you saw different things, and you created something artistic.
Yes.
And from that, you are feeling you're healing, which will probably be going on for a while, but you feel the art has given you a connection to your son.
Yes, absolutely. Because now I can see him. I don't have to imagine him anymore, because I can see him on a shirt.
Yeah.
When I wear that shirt and somebody says, "Oh, who's that?" I can share my story of my son.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing too. Is not only because you felt him and you saw him on those sonograms, so you saw him then.
Yeah.
But you're actually able to show everybody else him, and see everybody else can see him too. That he is real.
He's real.
He's real. It wasn't just, oh, you didn't have
Right.
no
And just
miscarriage.
because you didn't get to experience him the way
Right.
I did
Yeah.
does not diminish
Right.
his existence. And that's something that gets lost in translation for a lot of lost moms and dads, especially when it is in the first trimester or second trimester, and they're too small for you to hold them. They're too small for you to birth them. They're too small, but you know they were there because your body still had morning sickness. Your womb still expanded. So like, I lost my son, but I still went through a postpartum. My breast still produced milk. I still had to lose baby weight from him. I was very much pregnant, and then I wasn't pregnant, but your body doesn't realize that you're not pregnant anymore for a few weeks. So you're still feeling all the pregnancy symptoms. You're still pregnant physically everywhere else, except for they've taken your child out of your body.
Yeah.
And you don't even get to say to your family, here he is, here she is. Let's weep and let's mourn. So while I'm mourning an actual person, the rest of my family who was not with me was mourning the idea of a person who had not yet come. But it's like, but he did come.
Oh, that's serious.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was I just wanted to kind of bring to light as every month habitually, I really try to encourage people to do like an art spark. I have a group called Creatives Art Spark. And in that group, I have to get better. Sorry, everybody. But in that group, I share that God does give you a spark. We're playfully calling her time at 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning God's office hours, which really are God's office hours.
Really
but
is.
There's a spark, and whether it's poetry or painting or because I'm it's comical because I wanted to take a little break because I don't know. Andi, shake your head yes if you're ready or not. Are you not ready? Shake your head no, yes or no. She doesn't know. But Andi started off as she didn't think she could write it. She didn't know nothing. She just straight up. She didn't know nothing. She's laughing right now. And so Andi went from not knowing nothing, playing with videos and thinking, bits and parts of rhythm and poetry, aka rap, and then me just saying, why don't we just start with some poetry and spoken word? And then and that was like August of 2021, I think. And then, or 2020. And then January 2021, she launched and started doing some original work that has been amazing.
Yep.
She will tell her own story that she started off not thinking she could do anything, realizing that was a gift that God had given her, to the point that now, I think at the end of last year or before, she started her own Facebook page where there's moments where she just shares, what God's given her and her poetry. So, and when she's ready and she shakes her head, yes, she ain't shook her head yet. I know she hears me, but anyway, she came to the same kind of knowledge that she can do it. The other person, I'm not sure she's on either, but was Tiffany. Now, Tiffany will just, she would say, I'm going to just say yes and smile at you. But Tiffany went from what the heck is a cricket to making cards. Okay.
Yeah.
And Tiffany is this amazing storyteller. But it's the not knowing, it's the sparks, it's the little things that you do. And because you start doing them, you may not connect that that's your gift. But that's the whole point of Wholesome WordZ right now, or has been, is to encourage people. And if you need help, I keep raising my hands and let me help you. And so I giggle now at Tamara because she came on like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here. I just had this idea. Okay, now when she first came on, she told her story about the son and how God had used her, and she came up with an idea. She said, okay, now if you need to go back and look at either YouTube's and check when Miss Tamara was on, you will say she, from where she is now, then to now, it's like, okay, come on.
With a whole clear plan that is still unfolding every single time I open my mouth and share something with Craig. It's almost like I have to prepare myself because I know he's going to hear something that I didn't quite catch on to in just spitting it out. Right.
Except
and
so for when it's his turn and then he doesn't like you anymore. And then he hits you to the curb. Joanne. And then so like now he's probably gonna go click and get off.
The frustration of it all.
Craig. Right, Craig. Okay. No, Craig. Stop.
So great at calling out greatness in everybody else.
Thank you.
But don't be wanting to take his own. Like I'm just
no,
like
you don't want his medicine. Ain't that what the mama?
No.
Look at
the whole bottle, Craig. The whole bottle, not even a spoonful. The whole bottle.
Wait. This is what I'm gonna do. She ain't ready. Huh, Andy? Huh? Ain't he like that? Craig.
You funny, Craig.
Okay. I'm like my dude from Black Panther. Are you finished? Are you finished? Are you finished?
No, I'm not.
Are you finished?
No, I'm not. Andy, are you ready? Or you need more time?
Oh, she's muted.
You muted, sweetie. You need to take yourself off mute. That kind of helps.
Hello.
Hi. Are you ready or you need time?
Do you want me to share a poem?
If you want to, but if you're not ready to share your poem, I see you back there practicing. So are you ready? Because you know already what I'm going to ask you to do, right?
No, she paused.
Oh, she paused. Andy, if you can hear me, let me remove you. But I know you can't. Andy, if you can hear me, you got too many people on your bandwidth. So I took you off and you got a lot of people on your bandwidth because you froze.
She's back.
So are you ready? Shake your head, yes.
Yep, she's ready.
Okay. Lord willing.
Okay.
All right.
Are you ready?
Yes,
okay,
ma'am.
You know you're going to stand up, right?
Oh, okay. Well, then I gotta
Okay, I'll give you a minute.
Okay.
So should I share some more of Tamara's?
Yeah, I just wanted an infomercial and stuff like that. Oh, this was a comment that came in, Tamara.
Yes, Michael. Mm-hmm. He's a person and he did come.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. And the same can be said of Jesus.
What?
Wow! Michael, look at what you started. Michael, what? Oh my God, that needs to go on a t-shirt. Yes, sir. He is a person and he did come. And he's coming again. Be the backside. Get that.
I'm going to write that down.
Hold on. You picking up what I'm throwing down? Yes.
Yeah,
thank you, Michael. Thank you, Michael. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, all kinds of things can happen on Wholesome WordZ.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, Andy's still getting ready. Okay, so Craig, share some more pictures. Andy will let us know when she's ready.
Okay, Tamara, this is a nice one that you also created.
Yes. Okay, yes, I did, because I love coffee and coffee is everything to me. And so is Jesus. I don't love coffee more than Jesus, but it's a close second. I also love to cuddle my baby, and I love
what happened to the Holy Ghost? Father said he got to be third or fourth. The coffee got to be at least fourth. Okay, you just have the order. You got to get it straight, girl.
I got to get the order right. But yeah, I run on
it's Father, Son, Holy Ghost, Coffee. There you go.
Coffee.
Now coffee can start after the
Yes.
Okay,
Yes. Love my coffee in the morning, love my cuddles, and love my kisses. So yes, this mommy runs on coffee, cuddles, and kisses.
Oh, how cute.
Yeah.
And this is still all Canva, huh?
This is all Canva. Yes, ma'am.
And then we have this one. There's this one here.
Right. So this is for all my boy moms. And with this one, I needed to kind of put it in a picture of, Mama Bear and her cub. Like you don't get between Mama Bear and her cub. So that's what's represented on this one. And I love that one. And I have a lot of boy moms in my circle. And so, yeah, I wanted to do something for them as well.
Time out. You and Craig killing me with all this stuff. Okay, so what if somebody wants to purchase something? Do you guys got order forms or something? Because
we haven't got that far yet. But if you want one, let me know. We can hook it up.
I can make you a form, huh, Craig?
Yes, you can.
That would be amazing.
That's what we did she did the form for us for all of Caden's gear and merch he sold for Kesem. He sold $1,000 worth of gear in probably 3 months or less.
So if you need a form, you just need to let me know.
They're like, let's connect those dots.
All right. So anyway, so now wait, just because Craig, he has his Raising Men Facebook page and the framework. You can find Craig on time, all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
But for you, do you have a Facebook page for?
I do have a Facebook page for A Minute with Mom. It's actually A Minute with Mom. Yes. So if you look me up on Facebook, you're going to find me. You will find my podcast recording.
So is your podcast on YouTube too?
I do. I actually have A Minute with Mom segment TV on my YouTube channel. So here's what kind of has to happen. I have to make a whole separate Minute with Mom channel because right now the channel that is on is my beauty channel, which is a completely different name. So I kind of was doing like a soft launch of A Minute with Mom TV through my existing channel because that's where all of the subscribers are, so that I'm not starting over from scratch with 0 subscribers. So we're either going to have to change a name completely or we're going to have to get a whole new channel because
a whole new channel. Wholesome WordZ has a whole new channel. We don't here in the limelight with Salt and Light Arts. I'm sorry.
Right. So that has to happen. But yes, I do have a few, like a handful of A Minute with Mom videos on my YouTube channel for your viewing. Yes, I do.
She's awesome.
And I'm also on Instagram too.
Okay. So can you sell your stuff? I think people sell stuff on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, you can. You absolutely
use PayPal,
can.
Apple Pay, Venmo, what you use?
I got the PayPals. I have the PayPals. So if you want something, you just got to let me know. I am going to send you my screen name on Instagram.
Okay, so put that in the comments. You see at the top?
Yes.
You click on comments, put that there, and then everybody that's on right now, they'll all get your information. So your Facebook page, your Instagram. I don't know if you're doing any type of tweet or anything fun.
No, we don't do the tweetings.
No tweeting.
No, we don't. No tweetations here.
No tweetations.
No tweetations because Twitter, the Twitterverse. I don't like the Twitterverse.
No Twitterverse here. No Twitterverse.
Twitterverse is scandalous. I cannot.
Scandalous.
I just can't. I can't. So
No
I used to have a Twitter, but okay. Well, I don't see where I can write in the comments. I see the comments.
You're at the bottom, at the very bottom.
Yeah,
Okay,
post a
so
comment.
Click over to comments.
I did.
And then at the very bottom where it says all.
Me no see.
She may not have access.
No, I don't have access.
Or text it to me, Tamara, and I'll post it.
Okay, will do.
Okay. Is there a chat? Can you put it in the private chat? Do you see?
I can put it in the tribe. Yes, I
can.
Oh,
there you go.
So then we'll just take it from there. I'm surprised you don't see anything from.
And while she's doing that, I will post up another one of her pics while we're in the. Oh, that was it. Sorry. Wrong one. Girl Dad.
This one is my other favorite. They all my favorites because they're my babies, right? But this one, okay, so you need to understand something about my husband. He don't play about his kids, okay? He don't play about his girls.
All right now.
So
Gone, girl. Gone.
you need to also understand something about my girls. They are ferocious. I mean, my girls are so independent. They are strong-willed. They know who they are. They know who they are in Christ. I purposefully raised them to be strong because they are female and they are women of color in a very broken world. And if you don't know who you are, stepping outside of the safety of mom and dad, it's a problem. It's going to be a problem. And so when I thought about this t-shirt, I wanted to show how I see them as my cubs, as these little lionesses, but there can only be this great because they have a dad that is a fierce protector. They have a dad that will rip you to shreds on their behalf. But it's also like, I feel like that's how God sees all of his children too. Like, you don't want to get between a lion and their cub. Like, you just don't want to do it. And so, yeah, this is what girl dad looks like to me. This has been my life for 23 years of raising children, of watching my husband know when to bring that out and know when to be soft and know when to, hug them and encourage them and instill in them what it is like to be a woman from a man's perspective and how to be treated as a woman from a man's perspective. I can show them how to be a woman all day long. We can paint nails and do hair and, the crafts and all of those fun things, which we do, but only he can give them the male perspective, because they're going to need to choose a mate one day. Somebody's going to ask them to marry them one day. What do you need to look for in a spouse? What do you need to look for in a suitor, like someone who's just interested? What are your standards? And we have something that we tell our girls all the time. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. That's this picture too, because behind every one of my little girls is that lion that's saying, okay, watch it now. And yes, you need my permission. So that's girl dad.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I see that you've added to the chat. Let's see. We'll go here. So if you're watching, there's at a minute with mom. Which one is that one for?
That is for Instagram. That's my Instagram.
Okay, page. That's the Instagram one.
Okay. And we have lots of fun over there. I do daily inspirations at times. Well, let me take that back. It's daily on the day that I do it. Okay.
All right. That counts. That
counts, because one thing about me is if I don't have anything of value to say, then I say nothing.
Okay.
So there are going to be spaces between where I will hit you with stuff, consecutively, and then there will be periods of silence. It's because I need to be filled back up. I'm sitting under the pour, so that when I do say something, I'm not just here for kicks and giggles.
You're not out of office hours yet. Your office hours is not up. You're
right. That part. Mm-hmm. So yes. But there's lots of material over there, reels and all kinds of inspirational.
Okay, so this is your Instagram one. Do you have one for your Facebook page? Or
Facebook is just a minute with mom,
and the same with YouTube. Okay.
YouTube is different. Okay, so I'll put that one in the chat for you. Yes, because that one is special.
Okay, that one's special.
Right. So I started YouTube years ago, like back in 2012.
Likewise. That's when Salt and Light Arts got started. if not.
And I went under a different handle back then. My YouTube name back then was DivaTam27. Don't judge me, Craig. Don't judge me.
Okay? I just giggle.
Diva Tam.
There's a lot of shade in that laughter.
I just giggle.
But because I kind of am.
Diva Tam.
But not like the mean diva, not like the egocentric diva. Just that I'm a little bouge-tastic. I like nice things. Bouge-tastic. Yes.
Craig, write that one down. Yes, I'm bouge-tastic.
I had to process it first and think about how to spell that.
It don't matter because you're bouge.
Because you can't be like
whatever way you want.
Yes.
Because wait. You can't spell it with two O's because it's boogie. It mean boogie-tastic. And it ain't nobody boogie-tastic anymore.
Right.
But you got to spell it
Bouge
B-O-U with a G.
Bouge.
Yes.
Bouge-tastic.
Bouge-tastic.
Okay, so we're going with the E, no I at the end. Now, bougie is bourgeois with the X. I got to put a little accent.
Yes,
I'm
bouge-tastic.
Get it right.
That's going to be a whole line of clothes between Nathaniel's line and bouge-tastic. That's going to be a whole...
Right. Because, why not?
If it ain't you, it gonna be somebody else, right?
And everybody who knows me knows this. Like anybody who knows me understands. I went on a missions trip with acrylic nails.
Long acrylic nails. Wow.
But the Lord saw your heart, not your nails.
Oh, my heart, Joe. But they wasn't on after the 10 days. They was gone. It started, I had all 10, but by the 10 days,
they were in your pocket.
One nail a day.
All 10 was in your pocket.
Right. To Africa, nonetheless.
Africa.
Yes.
How'd you get them nails through customs? Because my girl, we won't go there. She got caught with some other stuff. She's still in jail. How you get them nails through customs?
Listen, I don't know. It was like 2004, I believe. Yes, because Nicole wasn't even a year yet. Okay, so my father-in-law asked me, hey, how would you like to go to Sierra Leone? And I was like, okay. But it was literally right after church service, and I still was not thinking straight.
Right. You were in the dew.
Right.
In the crowd
yes.
of the
and service was good that day. And I was like, yes, absolutely. Put me down. And so I went to the information meeting and I was like, oh, I'm going to this is going to be wonderful. This is great. And then it didn't hit me.
It was a missions group.
Right. It did not hit me literally until I got there.
You have to work, baby. A missions group, you be working.
Well, I didn't know. So I was bouge-tastic. I sure was. I had my nails done, got my hair. My hair was natural at the time, so I had the perfect hairstyle for it because I didn't have to do anything. And yeah, I had my little lipstick and everything, and I even had, because I was like, well, Africa's gonna be hot. I'm from the Caribbean. Well, my family is Caribbean, so I know hot weather. And so I bought myself a battery-operated hand fan because I was not about to be up there like this. So there I was with my little fan.
In your nails.
Right, in the app. Right, okay. And they clowned me, but everybody was begging me for my fan, though, because bouge-tastic, right? This is why you need a bouge-tastic friend in your life. Because yes, it's the word of the night. We see things that y'all don't see. Like, we go into Africa, it's going to be hot. Your hand is going to get tired. Just bring a battery-operated fan. Then you're fine. Yeah, I didn't know what I had signed up for till I got there. And
oh, baby.
Jesus was with me, and
the whole time.
The cockroaches they came to welcome us.
Wait, were they as big as your hand or maybe 2 hands?
It was every size. it was, I'm going to say this. It was the Rainbow Coalition of roaches. Because I did not know they come in different colors.
What?
But yes, sir. I saw a pink roach.
That was very creative.
I saw a green roach. I saw tan roaches. I saw black roaches. I saw brown roaches.
I'd have been back on the airplane.
Yes,
I'd have turned
sir.
around. I'd have got my luggage from them.
See, back on what airplane? Because I asked the question because this is how my mind works. I said, excuse me. But I know we had the tetanus shot before the trip in case we get cut on something. That's great and all. But if we have like a very life-threatening injury, who's flying us home? And she was like, oh, you don't. And I said, I'm sorry, what? And she said, no. I said, so if I need to leave on emergency and get back home and leave y'all here and I need to go. And she was like, you can't. And I said, what you mean I can't? And she goes, the next flight doesn't come until the day we leave. I said, but we're here for 10 days.
10 days from now is when
yes, that's when the next flight out of Sierra Leone will be.
It returns to Sierra Leone there. Mm-hmm. Oh, the devil is alive.
So I said, you might have told me this on the information meeting, and then this sister would not have gone.
Like this, we have our flights to somewhere, right? I mean, I can't.
No, it ain't coming. There's only one flight a week out of the airport. That whole airport.
So that airplane was going to sit there and wait for me to leave. That's what I'm saying. That plane landed.
No, it's going to drop you off
and leave.
It's going to fly back to wherever it came.
I don't know. See, I'd have been on that plane before it took off. If I saw some pink and yellow roaches.
But she didn't see that until she got to her hut, Craig. She didn't happen
to. Oh, no, I stayed in a hotel.
Oh, sorry, Craig. It was in a hotel.
It wasn't no hut.
Sorry. It was.
Okay.
The roaches were in the hotel, Craig.
I'm sorry. I did not. I stayed in a hotel, but it was more like a hostel.
Yeah.
I'd have been hostile if I see a pink and yellow roaches.
No, what I'm saying is that they cleared out our floor for the missionaries.
Yeah.
But all the other floors was used for
roaches.
Look how God worked your boomtastic self.
Adult entertainment.
Yes. And so that was awkward.
I'm sorry.
So here's
I got the nails though. If I got
the nails, I was like, well, the first day, the first one came off. It quite literally melted off of my feet. Yeah. Because I brought a whole bunch of like wet wipes to wipe up with and everything. Cause you know, it's hot, it's Africa, we're sweating. And so I'm wiping and I noticed the nail polish is coming off of the acrylic nail. And I'm like, why is the nail polish coming off? And so I keep wiping and then I'm noticing the layers of the acrylic, this gummy stuff is it just melted right off. And by the end of the trip, I didn't have any nails. I quite likely ate a couple of roaches and don't know it.
Protein.
Yeah, because you can't put your food down. Because these African roaches was intelligent. Do you understand me? So they figured out the time that we would eat and they would line up across the top of the table waiting for the food to be placed down and then they would attack it. So you had to eat like this and fast. Because if you put your plate down, you're going to eat right.
Boostastic.
Boostastic. I mean, I never prayed so hard in my life because and then the electricity cuts off at 11 o'clock every night.
And they come out at night in the dark.
Right. And so if you have a generator, but that's diesel fuel. So and that's hard to come by. And so we opened the window, but there were people who actually lived on the roof outside of our window. So we couldn't open the window because.
Sorry.
I'm not making this up. I am not making this up.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not a good host tonight. I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm sorry. Okay, because I keep saying it. I'm sorry. I'll be better. Mama.
Yeah.
Okay,
Let me tell you something. I prayed. I prayed to God.
G-O-D-T. Period.
You got to hold all my news. Like, hold them all, Jesus, because people outside my window.
I needed that.
They outside the window, like
So-
they looking in.
So you in the hostel,
I'm in the hostel.
and you rented the room in the hostel, and they rented this.
The generator.
And
And
then
no,
On the roof.
They ordered the roof outside the window. Okay,
Yes.
I got you. Okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm gonna get better. I'm
like,
gonna not that bad. I'm sorry.
everything.
Okay, I'm gonna be
And
better
I was
host.
like, this is where we're supposed to, and the lady who, bless her heart, she was like, this was not the hotel that I selected for you. Something happened, and where we were supposed to stay fell through. So at the last minute, this was all that they could find for us. So imagine up until that point, I had considered myself cultured. Because coming from a Caribbean family, spending all of my summers in Jamaica from the age of 5 to 11, and then another pop-in trip at 15, I understand how to rough it in the country. I'm not scared of dirt. I just choose not to roll in it. But if I need to, we could pop these nails off and get it popping. Like, I can do stuff, right? But why? Right? So here I am like, oh yeah, I'm going to Africa.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to the motherland. And I got there, and I don't know what I was expecting, but when we stopped in Brussels for our connecting flight, it became abundantly clear to me I was not in America
Anymore. Tell me.
I was up here. But I had to quickly realize, you are not home
until you get home.
Right.
No more
and
photos.
also realize that when you leave America and go other places, you're not always going to be welcomed.
Oh no, there's that ugly American.
Cornered on,
especially if you're melanin enriched. I'm just saying.
That's right. Cool. And so that was culture shock. And then we get there, and so the plane lands, and they're like, well, we have to still go to the mainland. I said, huh? Well, because the plane landed on the land.
So you thought that was
what
land.
other land is there? And she was like, well, you have two options. You could either ride the ferry, or you could ride the 30-minute hovercraft. I said, what is a hovercraft?
Oh, they're fun. I like the hovercraft.
Right, but she's not doing that. So I was like, I will ride the ferry, because I can swim. But I'm not getting in no helicopter boat, because that's basically what it is.
Oh,
it's like a helicopter and a boat at the same time.
So did you wish you was on that hovercraft by the time you got off that ferry?
Yes, I did, because when the ferry came, it was like this.
Yeah, it probably had cars.
The ferry had 3 heights.
Yeah.
And it was literally like this in the water, right? So I was scared to even walk anywhere, because I was like, can we sit on the side that is not closest to the water? So I was like, well, maybe if we sit on this side, it'll.
Yeah, that's why I said you took the hovercraft, but
Right. But where
would you be without these stories of God being?
Listen, I learned a lot about myself in those 10 days. I was humbled. I lost 10 pounds.
What? Missions can make you lose weight?
Oh, that's right. Mission accomplished for all that stuff.
Okay, because I'm real, and I don't know how ever else to be, so I'm gonna say this as nicely as I can. But I could not go to the bathroom for 3 days. Like, I just couldn't go.
They didn't have the regular.
No.
Because first of all, the water pressure is like non-existent. So you go to wash your hand, it's just literally a trickle of water.
Oh no. Mm-mm.
Right? So if it wasn't the rainbow coalition of roaches that greeted me at the hotel door, and then like my intestines got in their feelings and was like, nope, we not doing it. And so I had to have prayer. I was like, Lord,
have mercy.
This is how you created my body to function, and it ain't functioning, and it hadn't functioned in 3 days. I'm gonna need it to function, or else, like, I can't go nowhere else. Yeah, that was not fun. And it finally did happen, and I was like, thank you, Jesus. But like, you don't understand the privileges that you have until you no longer have them.
Yeah.
As simple as running water with water pressure, or to be able to use the restroom and wash your hands, or to spend a day in the mission field and then take a hot shower. Basically, it was try your best to get clean as you can.
Yeah.
And so then on the backside of the trip, when we were coming home, I was so happy to be back in America with electricity and water. So we were at the Washington Dulles airport, and we were like, finally, we're all home. We were all relieved and happy to be home. We had an amazing mission trip. The Lord moved mightily. We did what we were going over there to do. The souls were blessed. We were treated with African red carpet as best as they can. And when I tell you, when you see people who have less than you
give all they have,
their resources to give it to you, because what you're going there to give to them is more valuable to them than the last bit of rice that they have in their house that they cooked so they could feed you, just to say thank you for sharing this lesson with us.
Wow.
That's where the humility came in of, okay, I get it, God. Wow. So it's all fun and jokes, oh yes, whatever. But the whole purpose of that trip was, I wasn't there to be bush-tastic. I was there to be a servant. But I'm the one that got served.
Yeah.
Amen.
That's good.
I got served and got the socks blessed right off of me. I mean, they sent us home with authentic batik fabric.
Wow.
Yeah, that they made. And
I'm just like,
that costs a penny.
Just to say thank you.
Wow.
Thank you for what you came to offer me. So yeah, it was enlightening, and I was glad to be home. But after the 10 days, Africa has an odor. There is a very distinct aroma of the earth.
Sure.
And I got to see a different part of the world.
Sure.
And how rich the soil is over there. And what I still cannot understand to this day is, how is it possible that they're so poor, but the soil is so
rich? Yeah.
Because the fruit, I didn't know what an orange was until I went to Africa, because that's really what an orange looks like. Yeah. Because the oranges that we eat here are pale. They are washed out compared to the oranges that are over there. And the taste was something out of this world.
Yeah.
Because they don't have chemicals in their soil. Everything is in its purest form.
Mm-hmm.
The way when we went, where we were was Sierra Leone. And so they had just had the 10-year war with the Blood Diamonds. Wow. Their buildings that were demolished were made out of pure marble. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine walking down the street and seeing a dilapidated building where the outside of the building used to be marble? Marble.
Wow. Wow.
And then right beside it is a pile of trash that is almost as high as the building, because they don't have a sanitation system. Like, it was too much for my mind to process the beauty and the brokenness of one place.
Wow.
All at the same time.
At the same time.
At the same time. But then it's like poetic, because that's what we are as vessels,
God,
right?
yeah.
We have beauty. We're able to create these beautiful things, but we're so broken.
Yeah, we are. Let's
Right?
take a break and let Andi come on. Andi, I see you're ready. She had internet problems and she's been fighting to get back on. Andi, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. We're going to have you do. Thank you. Thank you, my
You're
child.
welcome. You're welcome. So this poem is called Thankfulness. Be blessed and enjoy. We must always have a thankful heart. For God is pleased with us when we choose to be grateful right from the start. God gives us so much, yet we still complain, when instead we should be thanking him every day. Thanking God for what we do and what we say shows him we appreciate everything he has given us. Thankfulness should be on our minds daily, in the good times and the bad. We must sincerely practice thankfulness every time we acknowledge God for what he has done. This act of gratitude opens the door to his presence before the day has begun. God hates it when we grumble. This act shows we are ungrateful. When we choose to be ungrateful, blessings stop overflowing. So let's choose to be thankful, for this is God's will for our lives. When we are consistently grateful to God for everything, the light of his presence shines upon us. When we fixate our minds on God, he helps us see his goodness throughout hardships, and the problems in our lives become small. When we continue to be grateful, as God gives us joy, we can fight attacks from the devil when he comes to steal, kill, and destroy. When we recognize the good things Jesus has done for us, we release the pressure from the devil who continually tempts us to complain when things don't go our way. Jesus uses his power to destroy the devil on our behalf. The more we are thankful to God for what we have, we can see the more we are thankful for, the more we are.
No, Andi, you're frozen. No. No.
The act of thankfulness. Thank you.
Wow. Amazing. You
Yeah.
froze for a moment, but
We got the message. Message received.
Okay,
All
so
glory
what
to God.
inspired you to do that, Andi?
Yeah, that was my question.
God, I think every day when we wake up in the morning, we should always have a mindset of thankfulness, because when we go through trials and tribulations in our lives, we get caught up in complaining and don't really practice the act of thankfulness.
Yeah.
And so obviously, as a mother, Tamara can relate, and obviously you, Duane, too, because you have children. Our children will act out and cause us to be stressed out, and we complain, and so we should, take a minute back and reflect on this trial and see the positive in it, and actually be thankful for it, because it's training us to be patient.
Yeah.
It's training us to be self-controlled, and we should be thankful for that, because God is molding and shaping us and changing us from the inside out. And even though we don't realize that in the trial, we'll see it after the trial when we go through that tunnel and see the light, and we're like, oh, thank you. So,
Wow.
That's good.
You have grown, my child. You have grown.
thank you.
And so, I always talk about your story, and I kind of gave it like a cliff version of it, but I would really love you to maybe not take as long as mine, but share your journey to Andi Poet. Excuse me. I'm like, go girl.
Well, by the grace of God, I thank you.
Oh, so wait, I need to say this. I've known Andi since how old?
Oh my gosh. maybe, I think I started going to the church when I was like 7 or 8.
Yeah, I was gonna say about 7 or 8. And so in one of the many careers that God gave me, I was a choreographer at a church where I met Andy. Okay, now start.
Yeah.
And so people are like, what the heck is she?
So many years ago, when my mom, she was a musician, and she played at a church named Imani Temple Church of God in Christ. And I was blessed to have Joanne as my choreographer.
You froze again, girl. Oh, Andy, the internet is giving her the blues.
The internets are the devil.
That's what she put. She said this is what she put when she had fallen off. She said the internet's having problems, but the devil is a liar.
Yes.
So,
welcome back.
Did I freeze again and then go back? Did I freeze again?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So that whole section, run that back.
Okay. So many years ago, when Joanna was my choreographer, my mom was the musician of the church called Imani Temple Church of God in Christ. And then as time went past, I went to college, and then I think 10 years went by, and then God reached out to me and said to reach out to Miss Joanne. So I was like, okay. So I reached out to her on Facebook, sent her a friend request, kept on being persistent. And then she finally reached out to me and accepted my friend request. And she started doing Wholesome WordZ. This was like a month after she started in June, I believe. I reached out to her in July. She started in June. And she expressed to me that I have a gift in poetry. And I was like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about, but all right. And so she invited me to participate in her Wholesome WordZ show. And I said, I will just, look at it and see, how it goes, and if I want to try it or not. In July, I saw her show, and I was inspired by many different artists, and wanted to take that leap of faith and to see the gift that God has given me, to really see like, okay, you said it's there. I'll trust in you, and I'll just do whatever you want me to do. So God inspired me to create iMovies. At first, I didn't know how to do iMovies, so it was self-taught by the grace of God. He actually taught me to do iMovies, and I started getting pictures and incorporating my voice and doing a video. And the first video I did was Patience. And I didn't realize this video was actually the blueprint, I would say, like the foundation of me progressing through my journey as a Christian poet. And as I progressed, time went by, and Joanne reached out to me again, and she said, you know what? You need to do spoken word. And I was like, okay. But she's like, you need to do it live with your face, because I was hiding behind pictures.
Sounds like somebody reading. Yes, it does, Lord. Yes. Oh, yes.
So she took she took me on this journey of this course of learning how to do spoken word. I researched many different Christian spoken word artists, as Jackie Hill, Amina Brown, for example. Did a lot of saturating in what spoken word was about instead of rushing through it, because she really wanted me to dig deep in it and really get grounded in it to understand the foundation and the artwork of spoken word, so that I can really just be in it. You know what I mean? As time went past, she then encouraged me, Miss Joanne encouraged me to.
Oh, you froze again, Andy. Okay. Then she gets to the good parts, and then
I did my first.
You froze. Right?
It froze again? Okay. It's okay.
We got up to dig deep. Then after dig deep.
Really? Oh, wow. Help me do this. As I dug deep, Miss Joanne encouraged me to videotape myself and to do a poem that was my first poem, which was called Breakthrough. I did that on January 2021. And it definitely was a breakthrough because it was my first spoken word poem. As time progressed, obviously by the grace of God, I got better. Obviously, there was trials and tribulations that I went through. I became prideful, and God humbled me right away. And so I learned from that to always be humble, and to never make yourself more than others, to always look at others more than yourself, and to always love one another, and to never speak unhighly, like to speak evil against anyone. I learned a lot of lessons through that journey. As time progressed, Miss Joanne, she encouraged me to step out of my comfort zone and to start a Facebook page, a ministry that God was calling me to do. I kept on hearing God saying, inspire, encourage, uplift, inspire, encourage, uplift. And so I was like, okay, is that what you want me to name the page? And he's, yes, I want you to name it Inspire, Encourage, Uplift, because I prayed before I met Miss Joanne. I asked God to give me a desire to be an encouragement to others, because at the same time as I was getting up in the morning, yes, I am a mother, yes, I'm a wife, and I do have an impact on my children and my husband, but I wanted to do more. I wanted to make an impact on the world and to help others grow spiritually and to get them out of their comfort zones. So with that, God blessed me to push myself to create this page with the help of Miss Joanne. She pushed me. She's like, if I don't see you creating, then I know you're not serious. So I had to do it. And then now I'm blessed to have this it's a small ministry. It's amazing. I'm at 104 followers from different parts of the world, from South Africa, Philippines. It's just amazing what God does. He does amazing things, and I'm so grateful for it. Very grateful. It'll be.
You froze again, Auntie. Dadgummit. And she's talking, and we have no idea what she's saying. So let's all just pretend we heard what she said.
It froze again, right?
You got to. It'll be. I was like.
It'll be a year in October.
Oh, congratulations! Happy anniversary!
Thank you.
Yay.
And you know what? Today is August, right? I think I started in August. So it's actually 2 years, either today or tomorrow, that I started with Wholesome WordZ. Look at that.
How do you feel, Andi? How do you feel looking at where you started and where you are now? How does that feel? Do you feel like you're a different Andi than in the beginning than you are now?
Oh yeah, most definitely. I feel like before I was just in a cycle, like the Groundhog Day cycle, where I would just get up and there was nothing to look forward to, put it that way. There was nothing to like work towards. I'm like, yes, I have to, help my children, but it was just like a cycle, just, routine, put it that way. But this time, I'm actually working towards something. I'm actually having to create, poems and actually, lean on God to say, hey, what do you want me to create? And then find out pictures and incorporate it. And also, another thing I forgot to mention, my sisters, Joelle Campbell, she's the editor and chief of my poems. She edits my poems. And then my other sister, Lawanda Campbell, she helps me to express myself and learn how to incorporate my facial expressions in the videos as well. So they're a huge help that God has helped me, as well with the help of Miss Joanne. She's my mentor, my coach, my spiritual mother, I would say. And thank you, Craig, also for your support as well. He's been there from day one when I started. So I'm just grateful and thankful. And I am getting pushed again. I'm getting pushed out of my comfort zone again. God is making me take another leap of faith to try to start a business, an online business. So please pray for me.
What's the business?
It's an online business. There's different streams of income for the business, but Lord willing, today I got approved for my first credit card, so I'm like really excited. I'm growing up.
Glory to God. Glory to God.
So yeah, I'm excited. So just please pray for me to not be afraid, to
Don't
have
get,
faith over fear.
God is not in fear. God is not in
Yes.
fear. So anybody listening knows that God
That's
is not in
awesome, Andy.
Thank you.
That is awesome stuff.
So you are
Congratulations.
inspiring and encouraging. Imagine how he had you start with that, and now you're moving upward to your own online business to inspire and encourage others.
Yep, it's crazy how everything works in his hands. It's amazing.
God is good. He's
All
faithful.
the time.
My friend likes to say he sees around corners that we cannot see.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does see stuff I know I don't see. Just within hours. I don't see it and I don't get it. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Wow. And what's nice about today, before Andy would say, "Are you doing it? Are you doing it? Should I have something prepared?" And I would kind of like roll my eyes.
I froze again. I froze again.
Prepare. You always prepare. No, that's how I train my children. She'll tell you, huh? You never know where God's going to have you open the door and someone says, "We have a spoken word poet in our midst, Andy, the poet or whatever. Could you come share a word?" And you can't be thinking like, I didn't prepare anything. You just come and you just do it. That's how my other child, Michael Lee, does it. He does it like that. So, and we're working on another project right now, but I'm really super proud of you. You know, I when we had started to get together, it was Tamara said, "Is Andy going to join us today?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, Andy's a pretty good faithful, so I'm pretty sure she'll be on, but let me see if she gets on there." So after the show got started, I was like, "Hey, Andy, you out there?" And so I'm like, knowing Andy at this point, from everything I taught her, she's going to be prepared. And sure enough, when she finally got into the green room, you could see she was going through it. She had it all mapped out and stuff like that. So great job. Very proud. I can pop my chest. That's my child.
Thank you.
Yes. And it, you know, you did it so effortlessly. If you weren't prepared, I couldn't tell.
It was all God. It was not me. It was all God. I asked the Holy Spirit to speak through me. That was all God.
He does it right then and there. So that poem was right on time, even though we missed parts of it until when it froze. It was what I needed to hear right now. Mm-hmm. And having a spirit of being thankful and grateful for what he's done, things that I don't understand.
I love it too, because there was definitely a different confidence that was there, you know, definitely not like the earlier days where you can tell you were excited extra or even nervous or unsure. There was no uncertainty. He was like, look, you could tell it was run down in your spur, right down in your shalana. So that's the blessing to be able to, if those who you go back and watch some of the earlier, you know, versions and episodes of Wholesome WordZ, and you can see and watch the maturation. And Andy, you may consider, you know, going back yourself and even watching, I don't want to say the old you, but you can watch where you came from and like, man, that was me. And then watch where you are now. It's huge. It's huge. It's awesome. So applaud you. Keep going. Don't give up. We appreciate you. You know, she's frozen again, but that's okay. Should go back and watch the comments. We good.
We good. Yeah. So I'm like just blown away. There's this other comment from someone I know that says, I'm not, but you know. Yeah. So
she everybody, mama.
Yeah. Comes to the arts, you know, and so again, tonight was just again, you listen to all these different sparks and where they're going. I think what's really good is that if you have been on and you know that Andy, either she's in there texting something, or she's sharing her poetry and stuff. But if you've seen all the sparks, all the art sparks, and just that little step, it's just that little step. And the same with Tamara. She's like, okay, I'm here, and here's my story, and a minute with mom. And now the minute with mom is creating inspiration for your children and messages, sending messages to your child and to lost parents and lost dads, you know, about children. I think that's a deep ministry, because I don't really think that that's something that's really being addressed for those. I mean, yeah, people go to counseling, but if you were on earlier, Tamara's getting healing through the arts. And so that art spark that she probably is not even paying attention, but God gave her an art spark, because she would not consider her an artist, herself an artist, but because of Canva, and now she's seeing visions and having office hours with God, you know, he's changed something. And now she's the messenger for lost moms and dads, and saying it doesn't have to be over. Here's an outlet. I'm here to help you process, because I'm still processing. And I think that the arts is that vehicle that when you see the onesie, or you see the t-shirt, or you see, you know, how she got to create that. And then you hear Craig's story from a Cricut, because when I introduced the Cricut to Craig, he was like, what is this machine, and why do you have it? And what good is it? Really, Joe? Or, and you have to do what? I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
And the weeding
and
is
then
the devil.
2 weeks, right? 2 weeks before Christmas, this is a true story. I was over his house because he was trying to make a logo, sweatshirts for his kids to wear for Raising Men. And he had said, okay, I'll just do what you say, Joe, but this is just too much. I don't even know why you would do this, but I'll do what you say. And within 5 minutes of a conversation, when we're all done, he says, well, I'll go in a half on you if you get a machine. We got up from where we were. There was Michael's around the corner from his house. I'm like, let's roll. And we split the maker. So I got all the things that he needed to have, because I knew he wasn't going to understand. And then on New Year's Day, we had a session. That's how we spent New Year's Day, creating and learning and stuff. And then from the Cricut, you see all this other stuff that he's showing you.
The big daddy.
Yeah, he wants to show me, because I'm like, well, my half of the Cricut can come home with me, and he says, no, it has to stay here because I have a place for it. You see, Joe, I have a station. That's what all that was for. So that was for me. But art spark, a spark where he said, a spark where even Ande said, and even Tamar, she would not even. So your are really uh-huhs if you allow yourself to just hear, or if you feel inspired to do something, if you need to talk to me, or you wanna chitty chat about how do I take my message further. And Andi, honestly, if you go back to the early days of Andi, since she said August was her first time out, to see what she's done to what you saw tonight, there's worlds of different. And then the big daddy that I just love is that last year she stepped out on faith, and she took another artistic art spark opportunity. And now, less than a year later, God has given her another vision. So these baby steps become something huge. And understanding how God uses you to do it, it can be, your gifting could be a moneymaker. Your gifting can inspire people, heal people, and still, and then you may, if you go into the t-shirt business, as some of these people are, that's the way to get your ministry out. People are going to want to wear what God has shared with you. Yeah. And so I really want to encourage people to take time and really don't be so afraid or think about what people are going to think about. Think about what God wants you to do. Forget everybody else. if you're so fixated on everybody else, you will miss your blessing. And sometimes it's like I said, Craig said no to cricket. He's like, I don't know. And now he got this huge machine.
You done skipped over a whole bunch of machines and went all the way to a whole industrial.
Yes, like you would find in a print shop. He went from cricket, and now he got floor. He got a brand new floor, and
He has a showroom.
Yeah.
It's the Lord, tell you.
And so people will invest in your business. Craig's experiencing that already. Just different things that God is doing for his people. He's doing.
Well, I have to say, Joanne, I'm just grateful that you listened and gave God your yes to create a platform and a space for creatives to come, which is also something that is not talked about within church. You're there for the Christmas program. You're there for the Easter program. And then that's it. That's the only time the creatives are ever allowed to come out of the corner. Yeah. But what you're doing
to me, huh, Craig?
Mm-hmm.
What you're doing is that you're saying, no, this is who God made me to be. Yeah. Right? Because we were made in his image and he is the ultimate creator.
Yes.
So it makes sense that we should be always creating something. If we were formed in his image, we all have that ability. We all have that within us. Yeah. But to be given the room and the permission from somebody else like yourself, Joanne, to say, hey, don't dismiss this. This is an art spark. I would have never even considered that word had I not heard it from you first. Yeah. To even connect the dots in myself and understand, oh, that's what that is when I get this idea, but I don't know what to do with it. And I don't know what are the next steps, but just watching your show, having been a guest, which thank you, on the show, and just being in the atmosphere and present in the room, whether I'm talking or not, but just hearing you break it down helps me understand what God has actually given me. So thank you for your yes. Yeah. Because your yes opened the door to the three of us just sitting here. And I'm pretty sure there's a whole lot more of people that could say yes. Your yes opened the door for me too. Thank you so much.
It's definitely your obedience was the breakthrough for all of us. Someone's always waiting on the other side of our obedience.
She took my quote. I need a t-shirt, Craig.
I got you.
I know you do. And so that to kind of help everyone, there's another comment that's come in. That's my ministry, but Craig knows it, and probably he knows it when he met me. But
well, that's crazy. Yeah,
that's crazy. But I started with no too. I had friends that told me that I could choreograph and dance and stuff like that. And that's kind of how I got started. And I started off with the no, I'm not doing it. And I went as far as going to the pastor and saying, okay, this is what they want to do. And if this is what God says we're supposed to do, because that's what I do so much. God says that's what to do. You need to give us, we need a name if it's real, right? So I leave, I put the pressure on the pastor and I leave. He calls us back in a couple weeks and he says, we're taking it from Malachi 1. You guys are called the messengers. And so when you think about that, you think about who the prophet Malachi is and what he did, I was kind of like, you weren't supposed to do that, The same thing when I came to the understanding that I was called as a creative. And my gifts and talents, I can't explain them all because I don't know them all. Yeah. But I know that when I start something, I know I'm in conversation. And when that happens, and then all of a sudden I'm this graphic artist, all of a sudden I'm this web designer, all of a sudden I'm this poet. All of a sudden, I'm a director. All of a sudden, I write plays that I've never written before. I mean, so I too started off with no, but one of my professor's book is my no was not louder than God's yes.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, that's actually a book by William Myers. If you want to read it, my no was not louder than God's yes. So, what book I got to read in a couple. Anyway, but I say all that as you hear all the no's and ums, and I don't know if I can do this. I know that fear grabs people, but I want to dissuade you to not pay attention to fear. Just keep your eyes on Jesus Christ. Talk to God, and I'm telling you, I promise you, and I have witness here, and I have others that you know that have been on the show that will tell you that God will really direct your path. It is so true. But you got to let go of fear, and you got to let go of people, saying, well, this is not good enough. Don't ask other people's opinion, because God, people didn't give you that gifting. God did. And if you're at the beginning and you're going to get better on these videos, if you start with Andi from when she started all the way up to now, you will say, is that the same person? What? Huh? Is that? It's like night and day different. But she took it as Miss Joe might have an idea. I don't know, but I'm a trust what she's saying. But now look at her. She just found out I invited her 5 minutes before I invited her. She didn't know she was going to be on tonight, but she knew that God had given her something. And so she was ready for it. She's that mature now. She can now encourage other people to do the same thing. Same with Tamar and Craig. We're all here with different genres. Craig hasn't even talked about, he's showing you all the printing stuff. Craig is a literal audio, professional audio, sound, multimedia genius. And so he don't look at Craig.
And when I go on tour, he'll be my sound guy.
He can create all kinds of different sounds. When I have productions, I go to my guru and I'm like, well, I need this. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? And between the two of us, we know when God hits us that we're inspired to do things. And so the same thing with Andi. Andi had no idea why God was still pressing her to get in contact with me. She had no clue from me saying, Andi, I think there's a calling on your life as a poet. And she was like, okay, you're always been kind of weird. To where look at her name. Andi Poet. Mm-hmm. So you never know where God's going to place you. But if you really want that opportunity to be used by God to share his word, like Tamara and Craig and Andi and others that you've seen on here, don't be afraid. God is with you. It is one of the most best feelings to know that you've been obedient and you touched someone that you didn't even know you touched. People say, oh, you touched me and I watch you all the time. I'm like, I don't even know who you are, right? I didn't know who Tamara was. Craig said, hey, I got someone who will be on the show. I'm like, okay, so come on. And it's like that. So I want to encourage that art has a purpose. God has given art as a language. You'll hear me say it over and over again. There are art sparks because art is a language that shares the gospel of Jesus Christ. Yep. And churches haven't really embraced that. I swear, Tamara, you must have been listening to me at some point, but they do only let the creatives come out to play legally for Christmas.
Oh, I know. I was a worship leader, and so I completely...
No plays, no nothing.
Yeah. Nope. Only Christmas and Easter. That's your time to shine. And
maybe if you're a visual person, you could do vacation Bible school.
Right.
Maybe.
Correct. Maybe.
That's kind of it. And so I want to be a part of a new revolution to actually take the arts to another level. And that's actually something God's recently dropped into my spirit because of a couple of things that happened this week. But I'm looking forward to creating something that doesn't emphasize church, but emphasizes art as a place to come to a studio to worship and celebrate God, and working on different genres, even as we speak right now, and looking for the studio. So keep your ears and eyes open. 2023, I'm gonna let God rock whatever He's placed up in here, which, if y'all don't know me, and those that do know me, is pretty dangerous. It's pretty dangerous, and I've embraced it.
There you go.
Don't be afraid. God is with you. I want that T-shirt. Okay. Well, Washington and Craig. Okay.
We got you.
Okay.
We got you.
Okay. So, Craig, you need an order form. I need to make you a new order form.
Go and make me a new form, girl. Go and make that
Okay,
form.
so I got an order form for Craig, an order form for tomorrow. She said, yeah, make me one. And it's really not that hard, but you just kind of got to give me some, what you want. I'll send you the link to what I did for Craig for Caden's thing, and then you just point me in the right direction, and it's a wink wink. It really is. It's so stupid. And then what's nice about it is that you can actually track what the order is, and it's just like stupid easy. So, I mean, when I say stupid,
Like, should have had a V8.
But that's just, I'm just that person. So, don't be afraid. God is with you, and God will do amazing things for you if you
out the boat.
Yeah, if you just let him. And I'm a witness. I come on air, and truthfully, I reminded Craig, when was it? It's like usually a couple weeks, sometimes days. Like, Craig, Friday is Wholesome WordZ. And I used to be so prepped, and I do all of this work and stuff like that. I'm not sure. I kind of have an idea now what he's doing. And so I'm like, God, you're just not funny. But, if you're obedient to him, he'll take you places and give you ideas and dreams that you could not even imagine. And so my obedience for the last 2 years, I celebrated 2 years, Juneteenth, 2022. Every month I've gone through all kind of scrutiny with Facebook, mostly Facebook. Facebook's not my friend. So I don't even put anything on Facebook that I'm having it. Facebook finds out when I hit go live. Other than that, there's, you guys, the scrutiny of Facebook is just not even worth it. I used to be so enthralled and organized and felt my little event planner self knew, I'm this, I'm that. I have, you find out when I go live. Other than that, unless it's every third Friday of the month, I'm okay with that. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook. I try to include my little Art Sparks group, but you have to have special permission. I'm like, look at here, okay, whatever. So that's all I really have for tonight. I don't know if there's anything else anyone else would like to share about their experience about God and just stepping out on faith, even though you don't know what you're doing, but God will be with you. He will be. And I really want to encourage people to listen to the arts, because the arts is going to save someone's soul. It's going to speak that language, that visual art, that tomorrow someone is going to want that T-shirt. Someone's going to say, I know I can give this as a baby shower present. I want to plant that seed. It's just so diverse in all kinds of different things. You don't know how God is going to use it. Poetry, like I told Andy, always be prepared. You never know when someone's going to say, Andy, can you just come up? They know you're in the audience. You never know. Craig now can make 1,000 T-shirts truly in 20 minutes. At this point, I'm like, how do you do that? But he can. So from Cricut, I don't know what you doing, Joe, to the Carlisle printing, whatever. From nose up the whole nine to I'll split half on this Cricut maker. I'll do just half. Half got him a whole new printing machine. It's not even a week old. Goodness.
Mm.
He just got it on Monday. Do you understand me, people? Monday. Wait, that's 4 days.
Yeah.
And now he has all these pictures and all these T-shirts. And then I did this one. This is my 91-year-old, son that looks,
He said 91. That's good. That make me 143.
Oh my gosh.
143.
Yeah.
Know that you're loved in the arts as a language. And like Andy quoted me so well, that there is always, always someone on the other side of your obedience. Because of Andy's obedience, she got subscribers up to 100 in other countries. She didn't know on the other side of her obedience, she was going to get somebody from the Philippines. Come on now.
Wow. That is awesome.
On the other side of your obedience, someone is waiting for their miracle, their breakthrough, their answer to prayer. Yeah. You never know. So take your baby step. It's worth it. It's so worth it. It's worth it to proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ via the arts.
Yeah.
I wanted to share this quote by Corrie ten Boom. It says, "Never be afraid to trust an unknown future to a known God."
Ooh, that's good.
Say that again, Andy. That was good.
That's good.
Never be afraid to trust an unknown future to a known God.
That's nice. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Woo. Oh, that got me. That got a punch. I'm like, woo.
Yes.
Woo. All right. Well, Craig, do you have anything you want to close on in?
No, I mean, what did we say? I mean, what do we do? I mean, the Lord's got it, and next month, every third Friday, we'll be in the same spot. Tell a friend. In fact, we encourage you.
What's going to happen on the
I
think that's my week. That's the week I'm in class.
Well,
I'll be here. I may be tuckered out, but I did it before.
Yeah, if you definitely know somebody that you think will be involved, reach out to Joe, any one of us, and we'll get information over to Joe. If you want to be involved, get it, reach out, get the information, get it. I mean, it's not like it's just a monopoly of what we're doing. It's a variety of things. It's what God's doing through each and every one of us. If you have a person that needs a service and support from either one of us, or if you have a place that you know that would benefit from this service, from ArtSpark, from the arts, let's collaborate. Let's put some collabs together, and let's do it. I mean, it's what it's all about, because if we don't do it together, it doesn't usually get done. And, islands are places for vacation, not isolation. And every so often we find ourselves isolated being artists because we don't think anybody wants to hear, or we're not good enough, and we disqualify ourselves so early. If Peter had disqualified himself, he never would have been on the boat to get out of. And so since he was able to walk upon that water, we don't know how far he walked, but it doesn't matter. The word says he did it. He walked. And so he did it. Each one of us we're on a boat, and we need to get out of the boat we're in and follow God. Keep our eyes on him. It gets wicked. It gets weird. The waves do get cold as it comes upon us, and the winds get to be nasty, whipping past us. But if we just keep our eyes fixed on God, his plan for our lives, and we keep moving towards him, we'll be fine. That's it, Joe. That's all I know.
Cameron, what you got, girl? What you got to close out?
I don't know how I can come behind the two of you, because you said it. Go do it. Just go do it. Stop thinking. Just do.
Is that what happened to you when you were on last time?
Yeah. That happens to me every time I get around Craig, and now every time I get around you, I get infused with this push of, you can do this, Tamara, if you just get out of your own head and just take the step. Just take, and then keep taking another one, and another, and another, and another. So for me, I could literally talk myself out of it. I could, but I need people like you guys that aren't afraid to get out of the boat because the other disciples are watching, right? And they're like, well, if Peter did it, maybe I could get out too.
Yeah, that's it right there.
That's a word right there, girl. You be you a terrible you amazing preacher. You be girl slapping.
Thank God. Right? Maybe I could do it too. So like as y'all are stepping, just understand you leaving breadcrumbs for the people behind you.
Auntie.
She leaving loaves behind, and
I know she not leaving no crumb. She not, her crumb has sailed over to the
whole bakery,
bakery.
A cookie, a cake, a loaf of bread. What you want?
We talking about one of them submarine sandwiches, them real old long ones,
and then foot longs, and them table longs.
Right. Her crumb done did that. Which you over in deck of the Philippines.
Right.
The Philippines.
That part.
Eating that good food.
And South Africa.
See?
I can't get around the corner. And you in the deck of the Philippines. And South and West, whatever. I'm holy jelly. Holy jelly.
She said holy jelly.
Holy jelly.
Yeah.
Well, it's been great. And this has been an interesting, very interesting evening. I'm grateful to God for what he's doing, whatever it is. I still haven't figured it out because this is not the Wholesome WordZ that I started with. And so it's totally changed. And I think God has a plan. And I think I now know what it is because of different events this week. But that's okay. I'll just keep on being obedient. And on the other side, I'm not sure who else will be on the show with me next month. So the stories that you share are, and he tells me I need to share this with you. One of the reasons why I have a YouTube channel and a Facebook page, because I really believe, and some people may not agree, but I don't care. God's coming back.
Yeah.
And if I'm not already with him, when he comes back, I'm going with him. And when I go, I want to leave something.
Yeah.
For people to say, no, what was Salt and Light Hearts? What was Wholesome WordZ? Wait, she had a YouTube channel. Wait, let me look at this. I want to leave something here. I want to leave my testimony. I want to leave the works. I want to leave At the Kitchen Table. If you haven't seen that, just ask me and I'll send you the link to that. If you haven't seen Masquerade, I'll send you the link to that too. But I want to leave something. If we're this far into technology, I want to leave God's impact on my life. Where those that are still on the internet and trying to figure out to all the gazillion of people who they saw caught up in the air, I want to be a part of that count. But I want you to find my legacy. I want something to be left. So if you're wondering why, another reason why I do it is because I love God and I love the gift that he gave me. I love to help people figure out what God is calling them to do. Oh my goodness. But I do this also because when that horn goes off and I translate, you will find me from the works that I've left. And that's my legacy. And people will say, oh my gosh, she talked about Jesus Christ like this.
Yeah.
That's why. One of the many reasons why. The other one is because he says, I need to do this. So every third Friday, until he tells me differently, here I am. Use me, Lord. Here I am.
Amen.
So I will see everyone next month. And I look forward to sharing because Lord knows, I think on that week I'll be out of class. Goodness gracious. So God be with everyone, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.